Yo, what's going on, family? Once again, it's that time. It's the Merv and Stack Show featuring Mark and Tina B. We got a special guest also tonight. So it's featuring another feature. We got Chris. How you doing? Since you're the guest, we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and let you say how you doing first.
Hey, how's everybody doing up there? I'm Chris, aka Mo Chris, whatever. I'm just a homie,
Okay.
so I'm just here to just hanging out.
Bet. Merv, why you looking around for, man? How you doing, man? You good? You running from the feds or something, man? You looking around like something going like somebody after you?
Man, I'm fucking unprepared. Not far as the TV show, but I don't have my motherfucking alcohol right now, man. Like I don't, and I'm looking around see if I got any spares. Like I got it's in a fucking car, and I woke up late and shit, and I forgot to get my alcohol. That's what's wrong with me, man. I don't have no fucking anything to drink.
I'm
But
so sorry to hear that.
other than that, a motherfucker's good.
Bet. Mark, what up, man? What's going on?
I'm good, man. The reason why Merv is looking around because he's hanging with Tariq earlier. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to always look over your shoulder when you're hanging with that guy. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, I'm good, man. I mean, I can't complain.
True that. And we said the best for last. What's going on? Tina B, what's happening? How you?
Hey guys, I'm ready for this show. Woohoo! It's a lot.
All right. Typically, I mean, if you've viewed with us before, we typically do Power. That Power Book 2. Of course, that's over. We can't wait for the next Power season coming. So what we are going to do is we're going to do a review of Lovecraft Country. It was a very popular series that started, I believe, this past summer, and I think that it gained a whole lot more popularity because everybody was inside, with the pandemic going on and stuff like that. Super dope show, and hopefully we can do it justice by going over all of the intricacies and everything in there entailed. And I think what I will do is I will start off by just going over a couple of characters. But actually, let me stop. And I'm sorry, Merv, I got to do this, but we usually ask what everybody drinking. And I know this don't apply to you tonight because you don't have your alcohol. But Mo Chris, I see you got something in your hand right there. You gave me the signal. So I mean, what you drinking on, family?
Well, since Merv had was fiending a little bit, so I was like, oh, I had to get the wifey fix me up some. This is a little tequila and pineapple, something light,
Oh, okay.
not
Okay,
not too,
light work, huh?
yeah, light work.
Okay.
You
Mark, you drinking anything tonight?
Nah, man. You know what I mean? Shoot, early morning for work, man. So I'm chilling tonight.
That's fine. Tina B,
Well,
you dry tonight too?
you know what? I got some of that in my fucking. If I go missing for like 2 minutes, just know I just went out. I just went outside and grabbed my goddamn alcohol.
You good?
Where
You
it
good?
is. All right. You know what I mean?
I'm
Now,
just letting you know.
Now, I'm going to tell our audience one thing first and foremost. We are not subject matter experts. We love this show. We're going to go try to deep dive as much as possible. I think we're all going to learn a lot from each other as far as our viewpoints as far as this show. If you would like to come on and discuss the show, let us know. We'll bring you on as well. I think what I would like to do for those and hopefully the point is we can actually motivate people to watch this show. I think a lot of people still haven't seen this show. I did share this in the Power Room. I hope they don't think I'm crazy, Tina, but I shared it, and I know a lot of people when they do watch Lovecraft Country, but hopefully it'll motivate some people to start watching the show.
Damn, I forgot to share this shit in the love country groups that I'm
I'm
in.
on it.
Damn, you just all kind of fucked up at night,
I'm all kind of fucked up today, man. I'm all kind of fucked up today. But you know what? Hey, I'm gonna be able to contribute. We're gonna break this motherfucker down today. We're gonna use everybody's knowledge, and we're still gonna break this motherfucker down while we learn. How about that? Goddamn it, let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about some characters really quick. The main character, Atticus Freeman, aka Tick, Uncle George Freeman, Letty Lewis, Letitia
No,
Lewis,
no,
aka
no,
Letty.
no.
Letitia fucking Lewis. Now you want me to say, right?
Letitia motherfucking Lewis. That's what
Letitia
we're
fucking
gonna
Lewis.
talk about. Not girl. Hey girl, what you driving? It's not girl, it's Letitia motherfucking Lewis.
Yeah. And we got Montrose Freeman, who is Atticus is I don't think he's not in the first episode actually. Montrose Freeman, he is Tick's father. You got Ruby Batista, who
only his
is
name.
yeah. You got Ruby Batista, who is Letitia's sister. You got Hippolyta Freeman, and you got Diane Freeman. Hippolyta is the wife of George, and Diane is the daughter. So this show, first and foremost, had a really weird. When I first watched it, when I first watched the show, I watched the beginning and I had to rewind it because I was like, "Damn, this is weird." So, Atticus, he is a Korean War veteran. I think that's because this is the setting. The setting of this show is in 1954, 55, so it's right after the Korean War, and he's having a dream that he's back at war, but he's fighting like some space aliens, Independence Day, type alien type shit. So one of the characters that's not in episode 1 or 2, just her voice. Is it Jaha? Is that how you pronounce her name? His Korean girlfriend. But she beams down from the damn from the space shuttle or whatever, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, when I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be tough, really tough to follow because I don't know what the hell going on right now. So there's this big, really, really big alien monster type thing, and Jackie Robinson.
That was supposed to be Jackie Robinson. That was beating that motherfucker with a bat.
See, you got to keep watching. It all explains that.
It will.
Hey,
it will.
hold up. We already said that you just seen the whole shit. You said, hey, we started the first 2 episodes, nigga.
I know.
We gotta keep watching. We talking about first 2 episodes, nigga, and that's it.
Well, all right. I've seen the entire series as well. I think as well as Tina B. We are going to stick to the first 2 episodes. It's going to be extremely hard. I can't wait for y'all to see. I can't wait for you and Marc. I can't wait for you and Marc to see the whole thing. That's how I'm excited I am that we finally got this stuff started. But anyway, Jackie Robinson smashes this monster, right? And he says, "I got you, kid. I want y'all to remember that phrase. I got you, kid." Now, I want to go around and ask y'all what y'all think about that opening scene. Let's start with the guest first. Chris, what you think of that opening scene?
Oh man, I'm glad y'all started with me first because before I want to say last year, maybe 2 years ago, when they first announced they was gonna do this movie, I didn't know nothing about the cast or whatever. What I heard was Lovecraft. So now, a lot of us in the Black community, we don't know who is H.P. Lovecraft, but H.P. Lovecraft is a famous occultist writer back in the day. He was also a very racist man too. A lot of people don't know that too. So, but anyway, he wrote these books. What they had all these monsters, and like some of the monsters named one of the famous Cthulhu. What's another one? Don't get me quoting all the names, but anyway, so make a long story short, even though he was racist in nature, he always wrote his books and stuff saying that the black man was God because he was basing his characters off. Yeah. Oh, it gets deep with the Cthulhu thing, man. I mean, with the H.P. Lovecraft, and so the premise of Lovecraft Country is about that reversing that H.P. Lovecraft racism and making the black man the God, as you will see the characters portray in the show, along with the actual monsters of H.P. Lovecraft. So it's interesting, and it was like, if you follow like all of that, you was like, oh my God, you was ready to see what they was gonna do, and then when you add Jordan Peele to it. And who's the other producer? What's his name? But anyway, you got Jordan Peele for the writing, you got the other guy for the special effects. and they just teamed up and made a really, really good production.
J.J. Adams and Misha Green.
Yeah.
Abrams, I mean J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams. That's what it's.
Yeah.
All right. Mark, what did you think of that beginning, bro?
Man, it was left field for me because I'm just like, yo, because I didn't really know, like, wait a minute, what am I watching here, right? But it was crazy though, and then Jackie Robinson just appears out of nowhere, and he getting ready to swing. I'm like, yo, this alien about to take a beat down. For real. Like, I was just like, dude. But I'm gonna say like this: going into the series, I didn't really know much about it. But you know, my brother, he watches everything, so he told me like, nah, I'm trying to tell you this is gonna be good. And I'm kind of like not sold, right, like right from the beginning. He like take a look at who's in it, right? So you just like you mentioned, Chris, Jordan Peele was writing, J.J. Abrams, but then you had Omar from The Wire,
Yeah.
Bull played Tick. He's from the movie White Boy Rick. You had Yummy for the uncle. He's like in a bunch of stuff. And then you got Journey Smollett, who's been in a bunch of stuff. Yes, she's Jesse's sister or whatever, I'm saying, from Empire. But I'm saying she's better. But anyway, it's just like a lot of familiar faces. Like as you watch the just the first couple episodes, I was seeing guys. I'm like, wait a minute, I know him from that too. So my brother told me, he's like, that's gonna happen throughout the whole season. You're gonna see people that you've seen them on something. Whether it was another show on HBO, Law and Order, or whatever, or some movie, you've seen somebody from somewhere, and that certainly helps. That the story's well written, but to see familiar faces in the show always helps.
And give it up to Journey too. Oh my gosh, she still looks good. Kept
Yes,
her
she does.
shape and everything. Oh my god, so we gotta give it up to Journey.
Yes, she do. She's that deal. So, Tina, what'd you think of that opening?
I watched it twice and I was like, what the hell am I watching? That's like, I'm like, all right, he in a war, but then he hopped the gate and it was something else. It was completely different. Now we dealing with aliens and baseball, and I'm like, is this his imagination? Like, and then he actually woke up from it. So it's like, was you dreaming? Was you dreaming about the book you was reading in your hand?
That's my document.
I know from seeing part one, he likes to read. He likes fictional things. So was it mixed into him being in the army? That's what I was trying to put together, because at first I didn't understand it at all. So that's where I'm at.
Gotcha. Merv, what do you think of that wild opening scene?
So when I first saw it, from me seeing the previews of the Lovecraft, I thought it was. I immediately thought it was a dream or some shit. And him being in war, I thought it was like dream slash flashback. But then when this big ass alien pop out this motherfucker, I'm like, hold up. Just the intro of this. I had to pause that. I'm like, hold up, hold up. The fuck is this? Then I saw a motherfucker get splattered. Then Jackie Robinson come out, motherfucker, with a bat. And then after that, the fucking alien oozed back together and reformed. And then, but I'll tell y'all, what really stand out to me is, who the fuck is this pretty alien female motherfucker that just came out of nowhere? Like this, you can tell motherfucker, huh?
She's a character down the line.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell me.
And the thing is, Merv.
Hey, listen. Was she in episode 2? Was she in episode 2?
No. You know what? You know what? She was actually in episode 1.
Yes, she was.
She was actually in episode 1.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna give you. I know you ain't seen the whole thing yet.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What I'm saying is, motherfuckers, we're talking about episode 1 and 2 tonight.
Okay, damn.
She's in episode 1 and 2.
All right, I'll just make
that.
Okay, then we can talk. Then you can say that shit. But I was just like, but my point is, I wasn't trying to figure out who the fuck she was really. I was like, yo, this is a pretty alien motherfucker that just came out of nowhere. Who the fuck is this? That's the fuck I was thinking. Like,
I knew you was gonna notice that. That's exactly.
I'm like, yo, if I was in some weird shit, I'd fuck her.
What?
Oh my god! Yo,
Oh, man.
That's what the fuck. That's what caught my attention.
You sure you ain't drinking?
Hey man, we live.
I'm gonna just leave Merv with this. He's on to something, and I'm gonna just leave him alone.
Okay, say less. Okay, so now you move forward. And if you haven't seen this show before, there's a lot of racy stuff in this show. A lot of people are uncomfortable talking about it, but I cannot wait to deep dive into some of because there's some deep stuff in this show overall dealing with race relations. Because back then, I mean, this is pre civil rights era. So moving right along, Tick wakes up from his dream. He's on a bus. He's heading back to Chicago. The reason he came home is because he found out that his father sent him a letter. And I guess Montrose is supposedly missing. But let's go to this little. I mean, he's talking to this lady they're on the bus. The bus breaks down. And I just caught this the day when I rewatched it. Now, it seems to me that Tick kind of signaled her to not get on the little pickup truck that all the white folks was getting on. Anybody else noticed that, or just understood that bus was just for the white people, and that little truck was just for the white people, and they'd have to find their own way.
Well, one thing about Tick,
I understood it as there was no blacks allowed on there because there had to be a gap, so they was all going to be too close. I knew they wasn't going to be allowed on that thing.
Well, one thing about Tick, like he's ahead of everybody when it comes to like noticing shit or being aware of shit.
Yeah.
Because even the sheriff said, "Oh, you a smart one." When he asked the sheriff, "Well, is it okay for us to do a U-turn around here? Is it legal for that?" He's like, "Oh, you a smart motherfucker, huh?" Normally I arrest your motherfucking ass, but for this day, I'm gonna let you go ahead and make this U-turn. But you got 5 minutes to get out this motherfucking county, motherfucker.
You get it.
Oh, it's my sworn duty to hang your ass.
On top of that, tried to antagonize them while they was driving out. If I hit your car, you're gonna speed up because I want to give you this ticket.
Right.
I want y'all to be stuck in downtown. I want y'all to be stuck.
That was a catch-22.
Now I will tell you that all that stuff with Tick, of course he's prior military, and a lot of us are paranoid and really really observant when it comes to shit. So I'm gonna shoot him some bail for that because I know exactly how he feels. So Tick comes home, and he comes to Uncle George's house. He tells Uncle George what's going on. How he need to go look for his dad, and he then goes to the bar to see Sammy.
We're gonna skip the part that Uncle George was getting some ass with the door inside.
We are. It's totally irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant.
All right, hey, well, that's what Tick came home to. Tick came home to his uncle fucking.
He ain't know that. Only knew that.
What?
Yo.
All right.
Only D knew. She heard her parents, but other than that, Tick ain't know what was going on. He's outside.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So Tick it's another sex scene coming up if you want to talk about that. Because Tick goes outside.
Yo, that shit blew my fucking mind, yo. Like, yo, what the fuck? Yo. Listen. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't ready. Yo,
I wasn't ready. No.
Listen. I'm like, hold up. My eyes fuck with me. I had to rewind. Like, was that a nigga? I'm like, is that? Wait, what? Okay. Y'all wasn't ready. I was ready. But you know what? I should have known it was something when Tick was like, yo, the light skin motherfucker that with the earrings, is that nigga still here? Because back in the day, it was frowned upon. You know, niggas didn't have earrings back in the day. It ain't like it's now. So when Tick was like, is the owner here, light skin with the earrings? I should knew right then how that motherfucker got down. But yeah, I wasn't ready.
I have a question, and maybe Chris, you can answer this for me. What is Tick's beef with the dude that he ran into when he walked into the bar?
We don't know yet. We
talk about one, right?
Huh?
I watched the whole thing, and I still.
You talk about with Tree?
That's his name.
It is with Tree, but I don't think we don't learn in the first 2 episodes. So for him to answer, it'll be like episode 4 or 5 or some shit. We don't know yet.
No, I'm trying to remember.
I wouldn't ask a question if it was all the way back in those episodes.
Well, Tree is a well, from what Tree is a he's kind of like a grimy dude. That's what I got from him off of that. Without going into detail as far as later, he's kind of like that one dude that you really can't trust what he say. He'll lie to make himself look better. That's what I got. That's what I got from Tree.
Y'all know what I got from that? Y'all know what Tree remind me of when he recognized it was Tick. Like, oh, I recognize you from the Coke bottle glasses. Hey, he remind me of have everybody here seen Dead Presidents?
Oh yeah, you know it.
Okay. He remind me of Terrence Howard character. He was like, look who's back in the motherfucking world, man. Look at motherfucker, you get all the pussy. And you know that fucker was grimy on Dead Presidents. You know what I mean? When he goddamn hit Hitler Renz with try to cheat him and shit with the dollar and all that. That's what True remind me of when he saw Tick. That's what that should remind me of.
I must say this. Okay, so you know we're originally Power, right? There was an issue with that. People had an issue with that because when Power showed the scene with Drew for the first time, people were just watching Lovecraft at the same time. And they saw that scene, and there was a whole issue about the whole having a homosexual thing in every show, and it was a big thing on the internet when Lovecraft dropped, and they saw that, and Power did that at the same time. It was like a big thing on the groups. It
is a big thing because even before they drop Lovecraft, because what they do is they be putting the agenda on the black shows. Now, yes, there's white shows that show homosexuality, but when it comes to our shows, they blatantly throw it in where it doesn't even match the script, doesn't even have any meaning to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's the issue. Like, when we watch other shows, like what's that? Black Lightning. She gay, but it's no even reason why she's gay. Like, it doesn't even correlates to our character. Now we can go on other shows where it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, he was gay, and you know, whoop de whoop. But yeah, it's an agenda, especially HBO. They are part of that, and they gotta follow certain, you know, guidelines, you know, inclusion and all that, and that's where all the political things and also that's how they attract these actors. Some of these actors like, hey, if you're willing to do certain things, you kind of get pushed more to the front. So it kind of creates it creates the new actor that's willing to, you know, do everything for the roles and stuff. So
that's a good point. I didn't even think about it that way.
That's yeah, I ain't think about that either, man. So
I be trying not to get deep, but
no,
this show's gonna get deep. Like
hey, yo, Mo, Chris, we gonna talk. Hey, when we get to this James Baldwin speech, we gonna talk about that at length because that was bruh. But anyway, I just wanna. Ruby and Letty, they met up. Letty was on stage singing in a little town like I say cookout / parade / Mark. Y'all have shit like that in Philly. Y'all get out there. Yeah, block party. My bad. That's the word I'm looking for. So Letty comes in. They don't have a really good relationship. Some siblings are like that. And I don't know if y'all know this. Letty's last name is Lewis, and Letty's siblings, Ruby and Marvin, who we about to meet, Both of their last name is Baptiste. I mean, it's clear that they got either different fathers or different mothers. I mean, I want to say different fathers or whatever. But they don't have a really good relationship because both of them think that Letty is a piece of shit because she didn't show up at their mother's funeral.
Yeah.
And Letty, hey, it's kind of y'all saw when Letty saw Tick and like, who's that? It's like, who is that? Like, damn, you making it real obvious. I mean, because I guess that Tick came from a little cold bottle dude that read books all the time. This dude that came home from the army and he kind of, he got the shirt off because they doing a little water thing and he kind of buff or whatever. And you kind of saw from right there that there was going to be some type of connection. So the dynamic of Letty and Ruby's relationship is what I want to talk about really, really quick. Because it's typically when siblings meet up, it's usually all love. I mean, you got some cases where it's not, where it's absolutely not like that. But I just want to know, Merv,
their relationship is, I saw right through that shit. It's like, it's deep. There's stuff that they don't talk about in the show. You can tell it's a light skin, dark skin issue as well.
Right. That's what the fuck I was going to go with. Because back in the day, that's how that's because the show's a racist show. So back in the day, that's how they used to use blacks against blacks to keep us going at each other. You had the light skin versus dark skin. I don't think it's a coincidence that the two sisters
Letty's like an opportunist. Like, she only come around when she don't have anything left.
Mm-hmm.
She don't keep in contact with her family. The only time she show up is now, I need somewhere to stay, or I need this. Anytime she needs something, she come back around. But once she good, she disappears. So she actually learns herself in this series. She learns about herself in this series. But yes, in the beginning, she's an opportunist. She's a moocher. She uses her family.
Yeah, absolutely, Brady. Colorism. Absolutely. I mean, and from what you're probably going to be upset with your sibling if they did not show up at your parent funeral. I mean, that's just, hey, that's
but
just.
But why? When I heard why she didn't show up, she couldn't show up. She just couldn't.
Well, her brother Marvin was pissed off because he got in a heated argument because he literally sent her money to come home for the funeral and she didn't come. And I felt Marvin's anger, and to me, she didn't have much of an explanation.
She had an explanation. She just said the brother didn't like the explanation, but she had an explanation. The brother just didn't like it.
Remind me.
She used the money to bail
her friends out
of jail because they were doing that was the word. Protest.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Damn, she took. Okay. Well, that's rocking a hard place.
I would be upset from the brother's perspective because it's like, so you bail your friends out with the money I sent you, but you don't care about your family.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted her to think about herself and the family. Leave your friends in there. They'll find somebody to bail them out. You need to come where the family is and to your mom's funeral. So I get it.
True.
Yeah, you could tell in the beginning they set up the sister dynamic early, which is it'll play out even further down the episodes.
Also, I know this is a female thing, but size. Letty is nice and slim and petite, whereas the sister's big bones, like that plays a part too. So it's some type of jealousy up in there.
True. So Tick tells George that he's going to go look for his dad, and George insists that he travels along because he goes on the road and he maps out safe places for black people to go stay at and go eat at, which may sound outlandish to us, but that's just how it was back then. I mean, as you can see later on in this episode, I mean, you could get back then. And I don't know if y'all noticed this. It seems like you can get killed just for living. I mean, just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, It's still relevant probably today in some cases.
Back in that day, you're getting killed for being black. It's not even a wrong place.
After a certain time, and you get caught outside, you die. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, it's still like that today.
Yeah. Now
Stacks, I got a question. The relationship between Tick and his father. Why would his father write him a letter when he said that they never spoke, they never had a relationship? He didn't send one letter to him like the army.
You said why would he or why did he?
Well, yeah, why did he?
Well, I think he found out that Montrose didn't write the letter, right?
He wrote it. Remember Montrose? Hold up. If you all remember the scene when he finally came out the ground, and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck y'all doing here?" It was like, "Yo, you wrote a letter for me to come." He said, "Boy, I ain't talked to you in fucking 5 years, and you fight every fucking thing I do. I ain't think you'd be stupid enough to come here when I wrote a letter in duress." So if you remember now, what's the white dude named the old president out of from Scandal? Damn, what's the white dude name?
Samuel.
Go.
Samuel Braithwaite.
That was the episode 1?
Sammy, that's episode 2, Merv. You're getting ahead.
No, but this is to answer her question. If we're talking about both episodes, so it's okay to jump around the first episode, but to answer her question, he said, I didn't know you'd be stupid enough to come here from a letter I wrote in duress. The white dude needed him there. So the letter, so the letter came from his dad, but he was made to write this shit because they needed him to get there to try to perform the Adam ceremony shit.
Gotcha.
That's why I said, boy, I think you'd be stupid enough to come here. It's been 5 years. Why the fuck would I write you a letter? So if you put that together,
spell thing that they did, like forced him under a spell to write this letter, and they took his memory away.
But it's really coming from the white guy that's trying to get immortality. So that letter came from him.
Samuel, Merv's name is Samuel Braithwaite. Why you keep saying the white guy? There's several of them on the show.
Is he white?
There's more of them. You know what? Moving right along. I forgot you, ignorant. My bad. I apologize to the viewers. I really want to get into. Okay, so they're Milady is going along because she's going to her brother's house. Right. I guess, I really don't get that dynamic. I don't know if she just because she was really Ruby was telling her you need to go and get this job, and she's like, "Well, I'm not doing that." So I guess she decided to just go with them and go to her brother's house, which
gave her 2 days.
Both of them hate her.
Yeah, I gave her 2 days.
Yeah. 2 nights.
She needed somewhere else to live. Opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they're traveling. I really want to I really want to go in depth over this this James Baldwin voiceover as they're traveling because it was so dope. And they showed up at the gas station where the white guy with the glasses is kind of mocking them, calling them monkeys or whatever, which I was heated. I'm pretty sure a lot of you were. But the words, what I would like to do is I think we lost Chris. We're gonna try to bring him back, but I'm gonna read this out because I'd like to go in depth because I want to know how. I mean, he said some really really deep stuff. James Baldwin said it's a debate that he's having with a white guy. And it goes a little something like this. I find myself not for the first time in the position of a kind of Jeremiah. For example, I don't disagree with Jeremy that the inequalities suffered by the American Negro population in the United States has hindered the American dream. Indeed, it has. I quarrel with some of the things he has said. The other deeper elements, certain awkwardness I feel has to do with one's viewpoint. I have to put it in that way, one sense, one system of reality. It would seem to me the preposition before the house, and I would put it that way, the American dream at the expense of the American Negro, or the American dream is at the expense of the American Negro. is the question hideously loaded, and then one's response to that question, one's reaction to that question has to depend on effect, and in effect, where you find yourself in the world, what your sense of reality is, what your system of reality is. That is, it depends on assumptions which we hold deeply, so as to be scarcely aware of them. A white South African or a Mississippi sharecropper holds so deeply, or a Mississippi sharecropper or a Frenchman driven out of Algeria, all have at bottom a system of reality that compels him to, for example, in a case of a French exile from Algeria, to defend French reasons from having ruled Algeria. The Mississippi or the Alabama sheriff who really does believe, and this is important, that he is facing a Negro boy or girl, that this woman, this man, this child must be insane to attack the system which he owes his entire identity. Now, I know that was a lot, but what I took from that is everybody has their own realities, and what we have, what I think that we have an issue with when we talk about race relations in this country is that we don't view them through each other's lenses. More often than not, and I'm probably being biased. It comes along with when you always got that white guy or girl that's arguing that racism doesn't exist, or it's not as bad as you think it is. That's because that's not their reality. You know what I mean? And I think it is not our responsibility to have those folks see it. I don't think we should have to convince them. It's something that you gotta want to do, in my opinion. I'm not gonna take up all the time, but I just want to. I'm gonna start with Chris. What did you think about the monologue, James Baldwin monologue?
I think it was perfect. The way he used all the monologues in Lovecraft Country, like the way he presented them at the right time to set the mood was awesome. He actually takes you to school a lot of times with how to direct and how to produce these films. I mean, he really did set the bar with this. And as we talking, you know how I think you had said in the beginning of the show, Stacks, like of course this is a show you're gonna have to watch over and over. You're not gonna get all of it from the first time you watch it. And so to hear James Baldwin talk and to put it in that scene so eloquently, like I thought it was phenomenal.
That Tina, what did you think of that monologue?
I thought it was dope. I'm still a little bit short of the full understanding of it. So, like you said, I would have to rewatch again. Because when I first watched the show, I'm just I'm watching the show. Some people are actually listening to words. Some people are actually watching the show. So I would have to, the second time I'm watching the show and I'm listening to what he says. So now that you even brought it up, I was still going to rewatch it again because, like Chris said, you have to watch this show more than once. You're not going to just get it one time. So now when we watch it again, I'm gonna just focus on what he's saying in its entirety. If that makes sense.
Bet. Gotcha. Mark, what did you think of James Baldwin monologue?
Man, I thought it fit right in. Number one. Number two, I'm just like, man, this is classic HBO. They always try to do something like this with their shows. Where they started off, they want to set it up. They're going to throw for something in there that's going to make you go back and watch it again. And this is why a lot of their shows end up being really good. Lovecraft is kind of off to that start for me, and I say like this, like, anybody who says like, oh yeah, show started off a little bit slow or whatever, I'm like, that's HBO, man. They want to build it up, I'm saying, for real, so then they can hook you. That's usually what they do, because after watching these first 2 episodes, that's what I've seen. But to the monologue, though, I thought it kind of spoke to what you were saying. Like, it's not as bad as it was. And, you know, this, you know, white folks talk to us like this all the time. We still hear it to this day. Where it's not that bad. You ain't have to go through what your grandparents went through, or what your parents went through. And I'm like, well, you know what I mean? You're kind of wrong because we still going through shit. You know what I mean? As a people, you know, and it's just like what I see is they'll try to flip it. Well, I mean, you personally might have not had to go through that, yeah, but I know people who have though. You know what I'm saying? That I personally know, friends of, can get them on the phone and yada yada yada. Just because I personally didn't go through what you're saying doesn't mean I didn't feel it, because I know people who went through that and did.
True. Merv, what you got?
I'm trying to say something different, so I don't say it's because y'all really broken this shit down. So I'm trying to think of it from a different angle. It kind of remind me of I don't know if you ever seen Skeleton Key. There's a movie called Skeleton Key, by Louisiana, and
I saw that.
and so when they was playing a monologue while watching a movie, it also kind of made me think about that movie Skeleton Key, because a lot of times in the movie they had a song playing, and that song had to be playing. It was helping to try to the curse that they were trying to put over the babysitters that they have. That song had to be playing for them to hear it, for them to believe. The whole thing was to get them to believe. So it's almost like while watching the show and hearing the monologue, it was almost kind of give that feeling like that background music or that hidden music that you listen to that's also trying to hypnotize you and get in your head while you listen to it without even realizing that you're being hypnotized right now. That was kind of feeling that I got also.
Wow.
In a different way, you was being schooled while watching the movie. It was a message.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And just to put a nice bow on it, I want to give y'all one more take. When I was watching it again, I made a correlation between what happened in the Capitol last week, simply because I had a gentleman on Facebook. I think he's a professor at Harvard. He said you have people in the United States that literally think that this country belongs to them and them only, and that's why they always say, you know, we need to take our country back. They feel like they're in possession of the actual country, and you know, black and brown people should be, you know, we should just be grateful to be along for the ride. And I correlated that to the fact that, you know, they said that I don't know how black people have the audacity, and this is back in the 50s, you know, had the audacity to, you know, complain or be ungrateful about, you know, their status in America, which is a big slap in the face. So I mean, watching it this week, and you know, based on what happened last week, I made that correlation that, you know, the more things change, the more things stay the same. You know what I mean?
They are crazy in their minds because we built this. So it's like, without us being here building it, you wouldn't have nothing. Like,
but I mean, but Tina, you got to realize, in a lot of white people's mind, even though we built it, it ain't for us. It's for them. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody here has heard "Take Our Country Back," at least within the last since back when Obama was president. Not to get too political or whatever, but I have heard that term so many times, and I was still in the military, and I hear people say we need to take our country back, and I'm like, motherfucker, from who? Who the fuck got it? Like, who the fuck got this shit? Like, you want to be, motherfucker, you a white male, you want to be oppressed so bad. What the fuck?
they feel as though that they're losing. Hope you don't hear a baby in the background. I apologize. But
you good? We family.
It's because their numbers are dying out, and so we're winning just by existing. So even though we go into work every day, or in the military, or we model citizens, we doing good. Even in the low degenerate places, like in the projects, people are still getting money, getting themselves out, getting themselves on the feet, and else, like, no matter what kind of condition we put these people in, they still like they still thrive. And
Black
then
experience though in this country, that's the experience.
right. And
we
so now
we
when you see
make nothing else up.
drastic,
Yep.
yeah, when you see these drastic measures, them getting violent, I'm like, hold up, y'all own everything. Y'all got all the money. Even all our millionaires we have, because we have more millionaires than we ever had before, but yet we still own 1% of the wealth. That's something we got to think about. So even all of that, they're like, you know what? No, we still got to take our country back. So, and then I mean, I can keep going on and on, but that's really the gist of it because this is their last ride. And so when you see them storming the Capitol, this is their last chance. If they feel as though, like when we talk about morality all the time, man, I mean, black people, we the most loving people on the planet. You know, we show that time and time. You think about it, we saw this Capitol shit. What did everybody say? Like, oh my God, if they hadn't been black, we would have been shot.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
thinking about
It would
it.
have been bodies. Yeah.
Right. Like
Absolutely.
I mean, I call it.
And it's
Mhm.
and Chris, it's almost like I think that the white power structure at large wants all of us to have childlike minds and to be like, hey, don't believe your lying ass eyes or whatever. Like, don't believe what you're actually seeing, because I mean, we all watched it. Not to go off on a tangent, like when I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, they're letting this happen. This is crazy to me. And we seen the fucking protests during the summer where our people's getting, tear gas, rubber bullets, just so, not to go off on a tangent, but you see the differences, and now I'm at the point that all I can do is laugh, because there's an expectation for you to have a childlike mind and not even believe what's going on, like what you're seeing with your own eyes. And they literally flipped it to where, well, we know that these guys had the MAGA flags and things of that nature, but it wasn't. Those were people posing. Those were Antifas, and I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, I wish I had the luxury of blaming someone else. I mean, because we go through some shit where we're just a person of fucking interest or fit the description and get fucking shot. And I don't want to go off on that tangent, but I found the shit really funny. When I did the correlation between Lovecraft Country and the shit that happened within the last week, and how motherfuckers just said, I mean, you literally see these cats rabid, like motherfuckers really care about fucking a Target burning down more so than motherfuckers storming the actual Capitol while lawmakers are in there, like literally insurrection. But not to be let's move right along, because we can talk about that shit all night.
They kill us because they fear us.
Of course.
She said it.
So they go into Simpsonville. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to you. To this point, I'm like, okay, where is this going? It still seems kind of slow to me. Then it starts picking up. They get into Simmonsville, and Tick, Merv, as you mentioned, Tick is like, when they ride into this town, Tick is looking like, shit, I don't even know if we should stop in this motherfucker. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think that George went to this place based on the guidebook because the owner used to be. I'm assuming from what I just caught this today. I'm assuming the owner of that restaurant used to be black.
I don't think she was black.
Got burned down.
No, I don't think she was black. I'm pretty sure. I feel like she was white. It was almost like remember we had the Underground Railroad. They had white people that own stores, own houses to help hide and be in disguise. So I think she was white, but she wasn't racist. She was one of the type of people that helped black. Because remember in the episode when Letitia motherfucking Lewis walked to the back, used the bathroom, she started listening to the server.
She did that,
and he was like, "It's three of them." He was like, "No, I promise I didn't serve them. Not after what you did to Lydia." All right, so I don't think they will allow a black owner to. I don't think they will allow a black owner in that area. I think Lydia was just a white person that was kind of like part of the Underground Railroad type shit.
You think she got found out and she got?
Yeah, she got found out because black people going in and she was serving. That the server was like, I did not serve them after what you did to Lydia. And
She
then
heard
that's when Chick started asking, hey, tell me again, why they call the White House the White House? Oh, yeah, War 1812. They burned it down. They had the black people rebuilt it and painted white so you could not see the burn marks. And that's when Tick looked down, moved that damn wood, saw a burn mark, and Letitia motherfucking Lewis comes and say, yo, get the fuck up now.
She was
Merv.
like she was gone.
I'm gonna say one thing though. I'm gonna say one thing. I think this had to be right before they came out with that green book for black people. This had to be right before that, because like it seemed like they were guessing what was safe and what was not. And I know when that green book came out, because I remember as a kid hearing this story from my grandma about the green book. You know what I'm saying? And she had one, and I don't know, this is somewhere over my mom's house. You know what I mean? For now, I got to go through all that stuff to actually find it, but I've seen it before as a kid. And it was just like, it would show the names of the places, where you could go, and what times and all of that. So I think this is right before that green book had dropped, for black people to travel safely.
So do you think he set that restaurant on fire and killed Lydia in the fire?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Lydia's dead. Cause like after he called and said, yo, I didn't serve him after what you did to Lydia, and Letitia motherfucking Lewis said, we got the fuck up out of here, they came that motherfucker shooting. They didn't do no fucking like on Life. It was like, yo, can you read? This is nigga only pies. No, they didn't do none of that shit. The motherfuckers came on a motherfucking truck with motherfucking guns shooting. So yeah, Lydia's dead.
Yeah.
Yo, and the thing is, historical content, man, it's like back then for whites to do stuff like that was the norm. And if they were successful, back then nothing would have happened, and they probably would have hey man, y'all ain't had to do all that. But nothing literally would have happened to them, because if you're that bold just to chase down people and shoot at them, that's just how it was back then. So of course they were thwarted by what's that, Christina? She came through with the old school. Was that a Bentley? Was that an old school Bentley joint?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they pulled up.
I actually liked when Tick shot back. I don't think they was expecting the Tick to have a gun in the car and to actually shoot back at the white man.
Hey man, I thought that thing was. First thing I thought it was a Rolls Royce at first, until they said it was a Bentley. That's number one. Number two, you know what I mean? Shoot, I was like, man, Letty Lewis, man, she was handling the wheel. I'm like, yo, she was riding. She was riding. So I was with that all day.
And I believe, if you can remember, I think I'm right about this, but back in those days, it was very rare for women to be driving.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. But she handled herself really well. So moving right along, they were able to make it to Marvin's house, and her and her brother had the big argument and all that stuff. Marvin was giving them some intel about this crazy ass ex-Marine sheriff named Eustace Hunt. Had an NCAA complaint file. It saw one file, and Marvin was like, "That's just one of them." So they're actually they're driving into they're heading into Devon County, and they take a break on the side of they're actually disoriented because they feel like they're driving by the same places or whatever. So Tick tells them to pull over, right? And this is where it gets really interesting. And you go to the title of the actual episode. It's called Sundown. And Sheriff, what's his name? Eustace. Sheriff Hunt stopped them and say, I don't know if y'all know this or not. And this is more historical content, because this is just how it was back then. He told them, this is a sundown town. Do you know what a sundown town is? Like, yeah. If you motherfuckers ain't out here by sundown, it is my God-given right to hang y'all from them trees. Like, damn. And he told them what time sundown is, and he didn't like the fact, and this is still relevant today. If you got a good head on your shoulders. You got good sense, and you seem smart. Racist whites hate that shit. If you got your shit together, they absolutely hate educated black people because Tick had the wherewithal to ask him, "Yo, can I make a U-turn? Aren't you a smart one?" And of course, he said, "Yeah, if you ask me nicely." And then he made him say, what he made him say.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went on this big, chase or whatever, and they made it out. Well, they thought they had made it out just to be led to some more sheriff. And when I saw that, I was thinking to myself, like, damn, they gonna die. And I'm like, this first episode, shit, like they about to fucking die. So they go to this is when the shit get really fucking lit. They go in these woods, and right at the point you think all these motherfuckers about to get their hair blown off, you hear these little sounds in the back. And I don't know about y'all, but when I first heard that shit, I'm like, hold on, what the fuck is that? I was just like the sheriff. I don't know how y'all was. Merv, how was you?
Yo, I'm thinking, okay, it's some wild animals because the brother talked about like wild animals and shit. When he's like, you rather face wild animals than the sheriff. So from that conversation, I'm thinking, some wild animals, some wolves, a pack of wolves, or some lions or some shit, some crazy ass animals is about to come out this motherfucker. Now I was expecting to see what the fuck came out this motherfucker.
I was wow. That was, I call them guard dogs.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, it was crazy. Like even if you go to the chase or whatever you want to call it, they couldn't even floor it. They actually had to do the speed limit.
Yep. You sure right.
He's looking at the sun like, shit, am I gonna beat this sun, going like 40 miles an hour, right? So I mean, that was crazy in itself.
I think the whole thing was a setup. They went north, them cops was gonna be past the train tracks.
Exactly. I mean, my point is, I'm just like, they'd have killed me, man, because I'm like, I only know how to floor it. You know what I mean? They'd have been shooting at me anyway. If you ever been in a chase, and I've been in two, so I just like, that's the only thing I understand. But I'm just like, but when they pulled up and them cops and they had them, I'm just like, well, look, this first episode. They not dying, but I thought, something was going to happen to Journey's character. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like the cops was going to rape her or something like that. Like I thought, and they were going to make them watch, because I'm like, shit like that did go down back in the day. So I'm just I thought something like that would happen. But then when I'm hearing the noises, I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is, right? But somebody about to get it. I don't know what that is, right? And the one thing that ended in the back of my mind was the first scene when he was fighting them aliens or whatever, right? I'm like, this motherfucker dream is about to come to life. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but that's exactly what I was thinking, right? And when them motherfuckers popped out, I'm like, that shit was so wild. I'm like, man, that was so wild to me.
Those was the most disgusting looking guard dogs that I've ever seen in my all them eyes.
All those eyes and all those teeth.
I'm like, why they had to draw them looking like that? I mean, even the Predator and Alien look better than these things or whatever. But it was so graphic. Oh my goodness! Now we done all watched some horror movies or something that got I feel like whoever did the graphics on this did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah, they put some money into that.
Yeah, bite motherfucker arms off and shit. Running with one arm and a rifle. Motherfucker turning into him.
Bite motherfucker deputy head off and shit.
All of that. That cop was still being racist. Still being he's missing all of this.
You talking about they was in that cabin?
Yeah.
Hey man, racist got a race.
Hey, so how many of y'all thought the uncle was dead meat though? When they left that motherfucker by his goddamn self.
Oh yeah, I thought he was gone.
I did. I thought he was done. I thought he was fucking done.
I like that. This nigga ain't last long at all.
Yeah, I meet you, and I'm gonna tell you, man. When they left him, right? That also got me thinking to a couple other shows, Game of Thrones and Power, how people could die at any time. I'm like, damn, they gonna let him die right now? Like, you know?
Oh yeah,
Right.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was, you know, I'm glad that he lived, but I thought he was done. I'm like, damn, this is him on the first episode, the uncle gone. Like, you know, I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't.
Yeah, so they got through the night, and I mean, amazingly, they got through the night. All the cops got killed.
The uncle helped them realize that it's the light, because he was like, "There's no way I made this by myself." Because he had a flashlight, and it was like the only thing I have was a fucking flashlight, so there must be.
He figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So the uncle helped them figure this shit out.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So they made it out. And it was morning. They made it to the little I call it the castle, and you got the guy William that's saying,
yeah, they called it the lounge, right?
The lounge. They got but the guy, the weird ass guy named, I think his name was William, which we'll find out more about William as we go on. William was like, weird as fuck. Talking about, we've been expecting you. Welcome home, like motherfucker. I don't know what y'all.
And then the shit goes off.
I would have turned the fuck around. As soon as he said that shit, you've been expecting me. Hold on. It's 1954. Your life is a big ass castle. Motherfucker, you ain't expecting me. And he said, welcome home.
And I said, welcome home.
I felt as though I just looked at him as Dracula, some type of Dracula.
I think I would have ate first and then left. Like, because after doing all that, I'm hungry, man.
You was hungry.
Hey, Letitia motherfucking Lou's hungry too.
Yeah.
What I do like about Lovecraft is, even though it's like sci-fi and Black history mixed with, there were some jokes in there, and I respect that, like, because I know that there was times where it would get so intense as a viewer, and then that one joke would just come out and it'd make you like relax, and regroup, come back to. So there were certain punchlines that made you actually laugh.
Yeah, it seemed like so based off the first 2 episodes, it seemed like, I haven't watched episode 3 yet, but based on the first 2 episodes, it seemed like all the intros is going to be on some kind of loopy crazy shit, because they start the first episode of Jackie Robinson beating up an alien. Then you got this pretty alien female that just came out of nowhere that I would have fucked, and then you got in the second episode you got fucking the Jeffersons. Fucking theme song. I'm moving on now.
To lighten up the situation. It was to lighten up the situation. You were so after watching all that. That was but episode 2, I feel like episode 2 is like you said, Mark. Episode 1, you know, kind of moved slow, this and the third. But I think episode 2 opened up a big door to go into 3.
Well,
episode 2 was not slow at all.
It's the first episode we got introduced to the element of spells and magic, because you know, since we are in episode 2 now, you know, they play the Jeffersons, which was a nice touch, really nice touch, and not Tick so much, but George and Latifah is pretty much George and Letitia Lewis, they're pretty much in a perfect fucking situation considering all things. Letitia got this big wardrobe of shit, of clothes, you know, that she has, and Uncle George is an avid reader, and he got all these books in this room, so they're living their best life. You know, Tick being the soldier, I think he is the only one, and it's probably because he's what you call it, Sons of Adam or whatever they call it. He's the only one that doesn't have the spell on him. So he's asking them like, okay, what the fuck? Why are y'all so fucking happy? And he's trying to tell Letty, like, okay, so you don't find it strange that you got a closet full of fucking clothes that just happen to fucking fit you. And he tells George as well, you know, maybe the books are in there for a reason. So the episode started off with
how do they know your favorite books? You know?
Exactly. It started off with Tick is always
Uncle George was still, even though Uncle George's memory was taken away from the night before, he was still smart enough to go through that. And guess what I took from it?
Absolutely.
black people don't like to read. So even
Right.
though it was a figure of imagination, they got what their hearts desired. Letty got clothes. Uncle George got a whole room and library full of books, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
he's smart. He's smart enough. I don't think they thought he was gonna open these books and read.
Nah. Well, see, they'd have had me. They'd have put some shit in there in the room I like, and I'd have been under that spell. You know what I mean? So I'm glad Tick was there. You know what I mean? Straight out. Because if it was me there in their place, oh man, it'd have been bad. You know what I mean? For real, women, alcohol, some
You can live your best life.
They'd have had me, man.
Uncle
You know what I
George
mean?
he still, even though he didn't remember, he still figured things out without that memory.
Right.
So he also helped Tick. Tick couldn't do it by himself without Uncle George, because there was that part where Tick got into a situation in his room. You feel what I'm saying? It was a figment of his imagination. So, and it messed with him. And Uncle George said, they're doing this to mess with your mind. You got to stay strong. Like Uncle George was still alert of his surroundings.
Yeah, but they gave him a little.
They were being watched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they closed it down.
They gave him a vision too, though. They gave him a vision. Was that
He dealt with vision the best, though. He the only one that was able to deal with.
That was
Tick's mom, right? Okay, so he had that vision, but he had the wherewithal to realize that it wasn't real.
Uncle Tick is ghost.
Huh?
Uncle Tick is ghost.
Oh my God! Here we go.
I mean, not Uncle Tick. Uncle George is ghost.
Uncle George, I got
Tick's mom was the love of his life. He says it.
Yeah, I keep watching how
So
that
even though he loves his wife that he's with now, Hippolyta, his heart was with Tick's mom.
Hey, Jordan Peele, call Lamar Hardwick. You know what I'm saying? We can get him in there.
Hey, yo, so as far as Letty's vision, I saw something a while ago. I vaguely remember it. As far as when her vision is her and Tick about to get it on, and he unbuckles his pants and the snake comes out. I think that has some correlation with Adam and Eve or something like that. But I had read somewhere. But there was somebody go into that.
Picture. Go ahead, did you see that picture? Did you see a picture of her room?
Got me Googling.
I don't remember.
All right, so the picture in Letty's room shows a guy with a serpent as a dick around his private part area. So there's a whole picture in her room. If you go back and look at the scene, that predetermines that scene. So a lot of times when you dream, is you dream of something that you've seen or that was on your mind. But that picture was in her room. So when he put his pants down and the snake come out, if you go back and watch it, is a representation of that same is a picture that's in her room. Only thing is they sub Tick as the guy that was in the picture.
And then I got kind of confused going back when they were showing Letty's scene, and then they were showing Tick's scene with the him fighting the Asian girl, right?
Yeah. Well, you had a hard time with her ass, wasn't you?
Yeah. So I got at my first time seeing it, I was like, hold on, what's going on here? Is he having sex with her, or what's going on? So, and then I figured out, it's their own imagination. Then you got to understand, it's like, okay, now what's inside Tick head, which probably have to see the other episodes to figure out.
So as we move along, they're doing some exploring because they're trying to figure out exactly what the hell is going on. And Tick is trying to be like the guy with the cool head because he tells Letty, how the hell could you even eat, after what happened last night? And of course, that's when he finds out that Uncle George and Letty, their memory has been erased from everything that happened the previous night. And they got William, this weird dude that he's very nice to them, giving them information, but he's only giving them bits and pieces of information. He's only giving them what he needs for them to damn hear, and not like say I gotta use the phone. Oh, the house just happened to have no fucking phones installed. So they're exploring it. There's this extremely racist lady with the two dogs, man. And y'all gonna see her again, by the way. But she says something to the effect that well, the dogs aren't the one that needs to be on leashes. And I'm thinking to myself, this racist bitch. I can't believe she said that. Huh?
She was a sheriff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but she was kind of upset because George said, we're friends with Mr. Greatwhite. She, called the dogs off, and she was like, well, y'all just don't seem like the type. She should have may as well say, well, I didn't know he had friends that was niggas. It seemed like that what she wanted to say. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's what
I thought she said that you guys do seem like the type, because remember the main person of the house that got killed in the fire was very nice to his slaves. Very nice to his slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they go out in the woods, and it's just some weird stuff going on. Maybe y'all can help me out with it.
Hold up. Let me go back. All right. So before you leave that part. It was an important part of that scene when they approach a lady with the dogs. Because the only reason why they approached the lady with the dogs is he heard that whistle. And remember, that whistle is what saved their life. The last time is what called the dogs off when they were surrounded. So the only reason why he went to that lady is because he heard that whistle. So him hearing that whistle, going to the lady, seeing the whistle, is what he was able to kind of start putting stuff together. And that's why he was so like, who the fuck you? Were you there last night? And that's why he was asking all those questions.
Also, I think Uncle George figured out because of the stone tower.
The tower, yep.
Yeah. That
Marc was being held there.
Like it was so thick that, and the dogs barking, you would not be able to hear a person yell.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Uncle George got that old wisdom. He got that old wisdom knowledge of that. So him and Tick, both of them is smart in their own different angle. Both of them have foresight in different ways, so they work well together. What Tick misses, Uncle George gets. What Uncle George misses, Tick gets. So them two together is a pretty good team, and them two together is how they survived so far.
Wow. So I think that they made a mistake when they put those books in Uncle George's room, because you got the scene where they're at the lodge meeting, where you got what's the guy's name? Samuel Braithwaite, aka Fitz off of Scandal. He's in there, and
he was what's Patrick Swayze's friend in Ghost that got him killed.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
I told
now
you.
I got you.
It's a lot.
That is right.
A lot of these people was in things that you've seen. I'm trying.
And he was young. He was young back then. Yeah.
Yeah, he was younger than motherfucker.
The second time I watched it, and I said, "Oh shit!" Like, wow.
I heard.
So somehow
he'll be doing that all series too.
Yeah. So somehow George, he has the opportunity to read some of the rules and regulations for the lodge, simply from his background as a Freemason. And he read the rules, and he pretty much, they found out that Tick is actually a descendant of, Sons of Man or Adam or whatever. And, he found out that Tick got a whole bunch of clout. And I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I got a question, Stacks. The book was just sitting on the table when he went into the library. Do you think it was set to be there, or
when he went to where was the book now? I don't remember that.
When he went when he found that secret passage to the library, the book that he read.
Are you talking about when they went to the to that lodge, when they killed a lady with the dog?
They were back in their rooms. Uncle George moved one of the books, and this secret passage opened, and it was a whole library of books. And that book that Stacks is talking about was just sitting on the table by itself.
Damn.
So do you think it was?
He probably didn't think he was going to find that jump. Like not the opening that door. Like I mean, sitting the book out was one thing, but they probably didn't think, he would pull that book, and that's the book that will open the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It just gave me unspeakable joy when Tick stood up once he knew the rules from his father. From his Uncle George, and he said, "I want everybody from Samuel to get the fuck out." I love that part. Gave me unspeakable joy. I'm sorry, it just did. It really did. It really did.
No, I was about to say, with these secret societies, how they do it in a movie, also it relates to reality too, on how they be like, because they had to use books to open up these lodges and stuff like that when they do ceremonies and stuff. So I also like how they play on that and how they say he was the heir, because that's what they be doing. But yeah, go ahead.
And he well, of course they followed the rules and everybody left. But Samuel reminded him, pretty much told him, "Man, look, motherfucker, you got a little bit of pull, but your ass can get gotten." That's what I got from that. It's just like you don't. He said something to the effect of, "Don't think of yourself as indispensable."
Yeah.
And I'm drawing a blank on this episode. After that, is that the part where they went to go start looking for Montrose and they found him?
Was it?
That came like
it was after.
Yeah.
They had a little weird scene where Christina goes and delivers the little monsters and shit like that. I was like, that threw me for a fucking loop. I'm sorry. And them shit, and it came out of cows and shit. So I'm like,
yeah, because
I didn't get that at all. Maybe somebody else got it, but I didn't get that part at fucking all.
I don't know if that was a way to hide those monsters by making it give birth to a cow. I don't know.
Yeah, I took it from like so they are obviously they're making these motherfuckers. It's not come out natural, and I'm thinking they're injecting the cow in some kind of way to have the cow have the baby.
They do have magic on their side, so.
And apparently, only I'm thinking only cows can possess what they need for them produce this baby, this crazy looking dog and shit. So I'm thinking it's only cows could do that shit. But I was wondering, why did they go get her specifically? And then the guy asked her, "Is this your first time?" That's what my question came from. Like, why they went to get her? And then apparently she must haven't done it before, or the guy didn't know that she did it before.
Yeah, I hadn't figured that out. But after the scene with the lodge is when they made them all go to their rooms, and that's when they was having the hallucinations, whatever. And
no, that was the hallucinations. Was the second hallucination was before, because the lodge members actually looked at it as a show. Did you notice that they were looking at them through the doors, laughing?
Oh shit!
To see them scared out their mind in their room.
I missed that.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I missed that. Damn.
Which was very racist too. A whole bunch of white people looking at these black people being tormented in their rooms, going through horror.
It's like the Mandingo.
That's where the alien girl comes in the second time, Merv. That was who Tick was fighting in the room.
Yeah.
Yep, Merv. That's what she was fighting.
That's the same motherfucking girl.
She is. Yep. You'll see more of her later. But that kind of remind me. Now that you mentioned it,
what think about that shit?
Now that you mentioned that, Tina. It kind of put me in a you say as far as them watching them, it kind of put me in the sense of the Mandingo fighting back in the day where they made black slaves fight to the death. That's what that kind of reminded me of. You know, now that you say, you know, they had them on display. You know, watching them go through all that mental torment with
So
all
I
the
got a question.
hallucinations.
Did anybody realize why? For those who probably watch more of the show, did anybody realize? Just don't answer. Just say, you know, yes or no, but don't say why. But did you realize why Letty did not, like, she started pausing and saying no, tick wait to have sex before the snake came out?
Because she was virgin?
That's yeah. So she acts like she's fast, but she's not.
Yeah, she really ain't. She's a tease.
Right.
I thought she was being a lady.
I mean, but back in the day, in fairness, though, you know what I mean, it was more teasing going on than it is today. You know what I'm saying? Just in fairness.
Hey, hold up. So I got a question. Does anybody know what kind of code that was that Tick and Uncle George was using for them for Tick was knock on their wall and he was able to write down the letters and spell it out just by him knocking on the wall? Anybody familiar with that?
I have no idea.
I don't think Uncle George knocked. I think
Tick was knocking. And Uncle George, he had a notepad. He had a notepad. But so Uncle George was in the army?
No, when Tick
knocked, like Morse code.
When Tick knocked, the person that knocked
that's
back.
the whole thing. Is that what that is? Morse? Was it Morse code? Would you say, Mo Chris?
Yeah, like Morse code. You know, when you got like not like SOS.
I was thinking about that as well.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. It is. Okay,
that was Uncle George that heard the code being knocked. That was the Korean chick that knocked back, and then she bust through the wall, and the fight started between the two. Right after, watch it again.
You sure?
I gotta watch it again.
Damn.
They made it look like Uncle George heard it, but what he heard was the rumbling after she bust through the wall and they was fighting.
Damn. So after the whole second hallucination is when they decide to dip out, if I'm not mistaken. They find Montrose. Montrose comes up from the fucking from underground type shit, right?
All right, so
don't forget, that's when we forgot when Christina made her appearance on the horse when he was walking back to the castle, and then one of the monsters came out the ground.
Yeah, she called him off.
It ain't do nothing to her though. The monster.
Right, she had the whistle. Plus, they know that that's those spells to control.
That's Christina guard dogs. So she controls them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Fast forward back to where he was at. So they running. They leaving.
They went to the. I think they went to the Stone Castle, and that's when the little sheriff lady with the dogs. I think she said some more racist shit, talking about I knew it, this, that, and the third, and she got fucking hit upside the head with that fucking shovel, which gave me unspeakable joy. And this is where they try to make their escape, right?
With the car.
Yeah. So so what? Hold, stop. Question. How did they find Uncle George? Not Uncle George. Like Montrose. How did they know to go to that? I saw when they pull a brick out and they look through the bricks through the wall, right? But how did that correlate to them being where Montrose came out the ground? Does anybody know that? That's the only part I was confused at.
So when they went to go find him, they seen his little alcohol thing that he drank out of.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So they knew he was there. But by the time they went to go save him, Montrose was already digging his way out. He was already digging his way out. So the whole time he was locked up in there for 2 weeks. So while he was locked up, he was digging his way out. That's how he came out through the ground. So by the time they went inside to move the bricks, Montrose was already making his way out through the ground.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
All right, I've kind of got that. But how the fuck did they know where to go stand when this motherfucker came out the ground?
No, but you know what? They were already
It
down
looked
there.
like
They
it
were
was just
already
open
down there
field from the door.
I think they were already
It
in
was
the,
like running out or something.
yeah, and
Remember
he
they
was
was
like,
like,
yo, help me move this rock. It's like it's loose or whatever. Like,
You
you know
thought
what
they
I'm
was
saying?
gonna crawl through all them bugs and stuff? Hell no, they wasn't about to crawl through them bugs and stuff. Like I wouldn't either. Shit.
They did Indiana Jones of Doom of the Temple of Doom.
I don't know. But they was down there though, you know what I'm saying? I remember it was just like, yo, help me move this rock. It wasn't because they heard nothing, it was just like, yo, we gotta go further, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And then that's when the boy came out. So
Again, that's Uncle George. He hearing something. It's probably like something that was
yeah,
hollow, like help me feel one of
yeah,
these rocks,
yeah.
you know,
Cause
and
I'm
then
like,
the stones moved,
because
you know.
he already, was in the room, and then he pulled the book, and that did something. So Uncle George, he's, like, yeah, you ain't gonna fool him twice. Like, oh, wait a minute, hold up, you know what I'm saying? This is probably something too, and that's exactly, why, he moved that or whatever, or he thought he could move it.
All right, gotcha. And that's when Uncle George cursed his fucking son out for goddamn falling for that okie doke, for the banana in the tailpipe.
I think they ran into
Montrose.
Montrose. I think they ran out
They ran-
they ran into Montrose coming out of the dirt.
Well, they
All right,
ran
cool,
into
okay.
Montrose.
Okay,
They
that sounds about right.
ran into Montrose, and he's tunneled his own way out. He actually got his own way out. And the four of them, they try to hit the road. They try to get out there when they stop by that invisible force field or whatever. And you got Samuel Braybright, then Christina comes and he kills Letty. Make no mistake about it, she was killed in that episode. And he tells I think he tells Tick, you need to make a decision.
Yeah,
Who's going to stay.
he said since you want to be the motherfucking rebel,
Yeah.
but you are the son of sons. I'll let you choose which one to die. That motherfucker look over and say, "Oh, that one, bow, no." Hey, you made a choice. Hey, bring motherfuckers back to the ranch.
The only reason he looked at Uncle George was because, like you guys said, basically they're like freaking frack. They feed off of each other. He was looking to Uncle George for some help and information.
Yeah.
And it was the wrong way to look.
So they go back to the little weird castle, and this is what Tick is defeated. He's given up, and he's going to participate in the ceremony. Letty,
I don't like you saying he's giving up. It's not that he's giving up. It was more like, okay,
choice. So you have to make a sacrifice.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. My bad, Merv. Calm down.
If you want people,
he is forced to participate in the ceremony,
right.
And Letty's actually resurrected. Because she did get shot and died in that episode, but she got resurrected. And Uncle George is he's good to go for the time being. And then they go into this whole ceremony where Samuel tries to open up the little portal so he can become Adam and get immortality. And
don't skip the part where Christina and Tick had a conversation, and then she brought up how she's the female.
Go over that real quick.
Yeah, so basically, I don't know what she said verbatim, but she did bring up the fact how basically she could do everything that the lodgemen can do, but because she's a female, she is not entitled to be a part of that lodge.
And she's even more powerful.
What she said was, every time they fuck up, they come to me to fix everything. That was just it's going on for years. They always fuck up. They come to her to fix everything, but no matter how much shit that she fixed, no matter what the fuck she do to keep everything going smoothly, she can never become one because she's not a man. And he was like, "Damn, man, I was just born a man, and a black
not even a white man." He said, "Not even a white man."
And I got
she didn't like that shit.
And I got more, like we mentioned earlier, when Letty motherfucking Lewis said I can't drive, back then females was like second citizens. So almost like there's only certain shit they can do. Like back then, really believing that you do what we tell you to do, maybe the kitchen or whatnot, but you're not on the same level with a man. So
cook and make babies.
Yeah. So
also Christina wasn't really on her father's team.
Not really, yeah.
Yeah, they said something to that.
She genuinely cared for Tick to an extent. She was really against her father. She was just doing what she was had to do in that situation. Her father's orders.
She follow orders even when she don't want to.
Right.
With 95% of the time, she follows orders even when she don't want to.
So this takes us to the ceremony that's happening, and there's a poem or / song going on in the background, which takes us to the title of this episode called Whitey's on the Moon. I'm gonna give you all a little bit of background. I looked it up. It's a Gil Scott Heron piece about the first moon landing. The poet expresses his unhappiness at having his taxes dedicated to bringing Whitey to the moon, while he and all Black Americans are being held captive in poverty due to racist government policies. He uses his sister Nell's condition and to emphasize the neglect that Black people are suffering while white society uses the nation's wealth to make expensive journeys into space. That was so fucking profound when I did that bit of research, because they're doing that. They're reciting that poem while Samuel is doing a little ceremony, and during this ceremony, because Tick is a, quote unquote sons of man or whatever the hell they call it, he's able to. Last air. He's able to flip the script and harness the energy and flip it back on Samuel. As you can see, he destroyed Samuel and the other lodge members when he flipped the script and all that. I think that was the scene where he actually saw his great grandmother, the old slave that was running out of the castle as it was going down.
The fire,
absolutely. So the castle's up in flames. It's a big dramatic scene in my opinion, because I was thinking at that point, Mark, like I'm thinking to myself, like, hold on, Tick, what the fucking y'all really going, the main character? What's this, Ned from fucking Game of Thrones? Y'all really gonna let Tick die in the first episode? But he overcame. But to no avail. After the castle went down, we did find out that we did lose a character in the first 2 episodes, and it was Uncle George.
Hold on, you're going too fast. Hold up. You're going a little too fast, because it's very important before you go to that part about Montrose and Uncle George. They was having a conversation when he was in the bed, and it was like, yo, you gotta show that kind of love to Tick. And he was like, yo, I don't give a fuck if you got a bullet stuck in your motherfucking gut. We agreed not to talk about that. And it was like, yeah, I know that.
My bad. Yeah.
But
Tick might not be yours.
Exactly. Tick might not be yours. Right. But you might be the only thing he has left. So it's a mystery about right now, who the fuck is Tick Daddy? Damn. So it's a secret right now that has to come out later on. But that was a very important conversation before he died.
That may actually come out in season 2.
Yeah,
that's
that was
very
a pivotal point.
I'm sorry that I forgot about it, but yeah, that's a very excellent point. I'd forgotten about that scene, which is very useful. Seeing how George, pretty much expressed. I don't know if George knew he was dying or whatever, but at any rate, he ended up
dying. What the fuck you mean?
He knew he was dying.
He knew he was dying. He got a whole bullet stuck in his ass and been bleeding and been getting worse.
Well, the thing is, that got accelerated when he got moved. Like, when somebody gets shot, that's the first thing they say. For real, leave the body.
Technically, Uncle George would have lived if Tick had died.
True.
Sacrifice.
True.
But he didn't die.
But
and remember when William said when that part of the castle, when the lodge burnt down, some people made it out. He was talking about Tick's great grandmother. She made it out.
Yeah, and he also mentioned to Tick that some people wielded this power better than everybody else, and you're one of them. So that's why they brought him. Remember, he said, "Oh, so that's why you brought my ass here." because he has a strong. He has he wielded the power. He has the best resistance and the best. You might well say the best fucking DNA out of everybody that can survive and help push that spell through with the atom shit.
Straight up, and that's also like a thing that relates to real life because I just like with black people with our organs or whatever. That's why our organs are so valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
To everybody else.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they be wanting them. It's real cases where black people mysteriously disappear, or
Yep.
what I mean, for like, oh, he died, and oh yeah, they took all his organs. Like, yeah, that
Right.
placenta, women's placentas and shit like that after they give birth and all
They
that
take
shit.
everything.
Yeah.
I never understood that real quick. How you gonna gonna take something that came out of my body and charge me $10,000 to keep it on ice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's mine. I own that. What you mean?
yeah, it's real, and that's why I mean, for whoever like is an organ donor or whatever, read up on that, and then make your decision if you're gonna be an organ donor. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's why I took that shit off my license because
Yeah.
they get you when
Yeah,
you're like 16.
Yeah, they won't try to save you.
Yeah,
They
you're
won't
right.
they won't really try to save you if they see you organ donor.
Yeah, fuck that. I ain't got none of that organ donor shit. Fuck that.
Yeah. So what I told my motherfucking family, if I die, you know what I'm saying, and my organs can save somebody, then y'all can tell motherfucking when I'm pronounced dead, hey, y'all can have motherfucking organs. But just keep my outer layer good because I want a whole open casket. I want my shoes to be seen, white shoes, white tuxedo, and all that shit.
Hold the fuck up, man. What do you mean a whole open casket?
They
I
do
want a
that
whole
now.
open casket. You're not gonna see my upper body. You're gonna see my legs and everything. I'm gonna have a white tuxedo. I'm have these white shoes. I got red socks. I got a red tie. And I got a pink little thing that go in your that part right there.
The handkerchief.
Aretha Franklin casket was open all the way down. They showed her red shoes.
This motherfucker ain't Aretha Franklin shit. Yo, Mark, this motherfucker extra as hell, man. Like I'm gonna have a full body viewing. Fuck out of here, man.
I just want to say this one little line when they were in the lodge. They had this one line, and he said, "Just because they don't want you here doesn't mean you're not supposed to be here." I felt like that was a powerful line.
Yeah, that was powerful.
I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm listening to Merv, right? And I'm thinking about this show that I watched years ago, Gangsters, America's Most Evil, right? And they were, for detailing, these guys from Detroit, but this one drug kingpin, Maserati Rick. I mean, his funeral was laid out. He's buried in a gold Mercedes, and he had all the jewelry on and a nice suit and the gators and all of that. And I'm just like, yeah, that just sounded. Merv just made it sound something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was crazy. That's all.
Look a movie. Just go on Google. Just go on Google and type in body style for a funeral. You see cookouts, bodies sitting on the porch by regular people. They wanted the body to look like what the person liked to do, standing up.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got the body standing up, but it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely crazy.
Yeah. The ending of this episode was so sad. Because as I guess he knows, because Letty comes to get him, meets him, and she walks him back to the car, and they're playing Leon Bridges' River in the background. Very powerful song. Love that song. And he gets to the car and he sees that, Uncle George has passed and the pain that he's going through. Man, it's just, and you got Montrose holding his brother there, man. That was a very powerful scene to me. And that's how the episode ended, didn't it?
Didn't they have to carry the body back to the car? Right.
Yep.
Yeah. When Tick came out and saw the body, that was heartbreaking, man. That was heartbreaking.
It was. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is let's go around and get takeaways from these first two episodes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to I'm gonna go with Merv and Mark first because y'all still got episodes to watch. I think Chris, you've seen the entire series, correct?
Yeah, and having this discussion, man, I'm gonna go back and rewatch because I
will
want to rewatch it anyway. And I wanted to when I got told to come, I wanted to get a head start and watch 1 and 2, but my time but now if I come back on for 3 and 4, then I'll definitely be ready for that.
No, come back on, man.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Hold on. Hey, real quick. Hey, more Chris, you gonna have to I don't know if anybody else was paying attention. You gonna have to show us how you've been doing that background shit. I don't know if y'all been paying. This motherfucker been changing like the different scenes.
I was gonna say, let's stay
I'm like,
on.
yo, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck you do that shit? Like, we need to know that.
It's hot. I was going to give him mad props at the end of the show, but it's hot.
Oh, I just been changing the background. Like I ain't
nigga, we know that. We saying how, motherfucker.
Yo, when we go off live, you gotta tell us.
Yeah. When we go off live, you gotta show us that.
I'll tell y'all.
Yeah. When we go off live, you gotta show us that. I got a question. Hey, I got a question. The ending, before they saw Uncle George die, what was the who was the people that Tick was seeing when the home started crashing down? Like he saw this lady right behind. That was the mom.
His great grandma. His one of his ancestors. Great grandmother.
Was that the one who ran away that Uncle George was talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
She made it out the fire when the lodge burnt down the first time.
Yeah.
I got a question. And this is all the way back in the beginning of episode 1, but I gotta ask, right?
Yes, sir.
Tick was on the phone and he called over to Korea. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what she
Who
said.
was that? He said, you was like, you at home. It's like,
hold on. Hey, not Tina, no. Spoiler alert. Don't let him know.
No. I'm not. I don't want you to tell me anything. I'm just saying he hung up the phone shook.
That shit shook me.
He hung up the phone.
That shit shook me.
You know what I mean?
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for y'all to see the rest of this shit. I can't wait. That's
all right.
It gets better.
Episode 1, episode 2. It's the same. It's the alien and the Korean chick he was fighting in the room. Same person. He really knows her, and he called her on the phone.
But it gets deeper though.
She said, "Is that you? I told you not to go home." That's what she said. And he hung up.
That's all we can give you.
My man was
Yeah, don't give him nothing else.
He was. Hey, yo, all I'm gonna say, Mark, he shook with good reason. He really is.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait till Merv see that.
Merv gonna change his mind.
Hey, Merv will come with this bitch like, hold on, we gotta unpack this shit first and foremost.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So will I find out in 3 and 4?
Actually, no. I think no, not 3 and 4.
I think you gotta get like the 6 or 7 or something like that.
Well, 3 and 4 next week.
My favorite episode is 7. They all good, but if I had to give it to one episode, it would be episode 7.
Okay.
I think 9 was my favorite.
All right. Well, we
I forgot the title of it.
Man, but I was like, man, that phone call had me shook. I ain't even in.
For real.
The way that he jumped, like, man, like you really thought, because I mean, when he jumped, I'm like looking around, just like, seriously. So that was crazy.
Yeah, but hey, I think that was a pretty decent show for the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't think I was gonna make it, and the suspense is killing me that I watched it and these two didn't. Ooh, I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm literally excited for these guys watching it going forward, especially when you see the whole thing. Like, I can't wait till they see this. I can't wait till they see that, because y'all gonna be tripping. Because full disclosure, I almost stopped watching it because I was watching episode 1, and just like any pilot, it takes a long time for shit to develop. But when it got to the point, it got me hooked when they had to run up out of that. I wasn't really engaged until he had to run up out of the restaurant, and the white guys was chasing them, and that's when I was like, oh shit, they got some shit going on now. But that's like damn near with any show. Whereas I think it was at minute 39 is when the shit got lit for me. I'm just glad I kept watching.
That's classic HBO. You know what I'm saying? They always gotta build it, and then boom, they gonna put some fire on your ass, and then you hook right from there. But that's how they build it. Like now, if you watch a series on Cinemax, they gonna kill somebody in the first 5 seconds.
Like on Stars with Power. On Power first episode, somebody got.
That's how they do. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be somebody getting killed or some sex the minute the thing drop. But HBO, they gotta build you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did. They did that. They definitely did that with Lovecraft.
When you watch the show, just like you said, Merv, you gotta pay attention to. I didn't even notice I'm gonna rewatch it because Merv said something about a picture in the background. Just like people didn't notice the sign, and Tick and them didn't notice the sign that said sundown. That sign when they drove in, they didn't notice it because the trees was covering it. So there's like hidden stuff in the scene.
Yeah, this is definitely not a show that you can watch and do other shit. You know, some people on shows they
absolutely
work on something like you can't do other shit because you are so you won't really appreciate this show if you don't see all the details.
Yeah.
So you really have to pay attention and see all the details.
Do not disturb. You got to put your phone on do not disturb too, because just checking the text and looking right back up, you can miss some shit just like that.
I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, easy.
Well, thank God for rewinds.
Right.
I'm gonna say if you're watching a show on HBO, put the D&D on your phone and just watch. Because
hey, Mark, you're right. Because Game of Thrones is a classic example, and this show is following how Game of Thrones is. Because like this, so the white people going and shooting at them, it was entertaining, but it didn't catch me. All right, it caught me like on Game of Thrones. It caught me at the end of the first episode when the brother and sister was fucking and they push that boy off the fucking top of the roof. I'm like, oh
that shit had me on
what the fuck is this about?
Like I said,
all right? So in a Lovecraft country, it didn't catch me till the end when they walked to the castle looking building, and motherfucker said, "Welcome home." I'm like, hold up.
We've been expecting you.
1950. This is 1950. This nigga black. Fuck you mean welcome home? So that's what I missed me. That's what I was like, hold up. What the fuck is going on now?
That's classic. That's classic HBO though. They did this in The Wire. You know what I mean? For when Avon and D'Angelo went to see their grandfather who stayed in the state hospital, and they explained kind of who he was and who they were becoming. Like, you know what I'm saying? That one scene, you know what I mean, explained like almost the whole first series, first season. But you didn't touch it, you know what I mean? For you had to go back and be like, oh, all right, that's what that was about. Like, it's classic HBO. They did the same shit on Oz.
Damn, I might have to go back. I might have to go back and watch the first episode of Wire because I don't remember that part. That's the first episode?
It's in the first 2. They go to the state hospital to see the grandfather, you know, and that's, you know, but this is HBO. This is what they do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Yeah.
The witchcraft got me. That's when I got into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it was just weird. You got these black folks when it was from Chicago.
Yeah.
And then they're walking up to this big castle. I'm like, what the hell going on here? Like, but the witchcraft came into play, magic and stuff like that. I love Harry Potter. So it was like that took it.
Yo, you seem like a Harry Potter, and now that you said yo, I can yes, you seem like a Harry Potter motherfucker, yo. Like I can see you. Yes. Yes, I can see all that in you when you say that shit.
Yes.
But y'all, did anybody catch when the white people was chasing them, trying to shoot them, and then the sister, the lady Brithwain with the great Christina in the great car. Y'all see the motherfucker when she flipped the truck, ain't hit nothing. It just hit the fuck. It just all hit the fucking air and flip.
Merv, that fucked me up. So when I first saw that shit, that fucked me up. Hey, that fucked me up so bad. I had to rewind that shit several times. I'm like, hold on. What the fuck just happened? How come? Because you saw it in real time. Like, okay, it hit the car, but it seemed like it didn't hit the car. Like, hit a force field and it flipped the vehicle. And I'm like, and when it happened, you saw the whitest woman you ever seen in your damn life step out of the fucking vehicle and just look with them damn eyes. And I'm like, I knew shit wasn't right. I knew some shit was involved that wasn't like normal from that point right there, man.
You put that invisible wall up. They didn't hit her car. They hit that invisible wall, but it made it look like they hit her car.
Yeah. But I tell you what, when she got out that motherfucking car, boy, that motherfucker was looking good, boy. That red lipstick on and shit.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Well, keep watching, Merv. You go not want to fuck her either.
Absolutely. I can guarantee that shit.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this, Merv. Being that you didn't get, I'll give you this one little. I'm gonna do a CK for you. It's a lot of sex. It's a lot of sex.
Yeah,
it is.
That's why we okay with the way you talking right now.
This series gives you everything: sex, violence,
it does.
Drama, love, all that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I really wish I could see the look on your face when you watch some of this shit though, because you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like, oh shit, they get that in, and then hold on, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, right. I can't wait. But
what's up?
Well,
you ever seen Crash?
Yeah, the movie. Yeah.
So that's also like implied in the movie. If you think about it, everybody has their own story that brings everybody together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those too. Yeah.
Well, let's put a nice little bow on this and let's shout out our sponsors. Shout out Facebook, YouTube. Shout out to Blackjack TV, 1 Mile High Radio. Hey, it was a good show. It only improved. Like I said, I forgot a couple of things from the second episode, and I've seen it probably like 4 or 5 times. But shout out to Mo Chris for joining us. Hopefully, come back and join us next week, same time at 7. And tomorrow, we have the Guys Podcast is coming back at 8 o'clock.
The topic tomorrow is the parents of today versus the parents of the past.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's ass whoopings versus no ass whoopings.
Basically.
That's foundation. We're gonna dive into it even more than that. Yep. That's the foundation.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
We'll be coming together, on tomorrow as we usually do on Wednesdays, 8 o'clock. We back at it. Anybody got anything before we roll out?
I just gotta apologize for eating because I don't like eating past late. So, you gotta get it in even on the show. So I apologize.
Oh no, you did good. You straight.
Yeah, you should have seen on TV about 2 weeks ago.
Your video is crystal clear, and Merv, you got to get the intel from Mo Chris as far as the background because that is fire.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
But I think that's about it, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and end this off. I'm gonna go ahead and salute y'all like I usually do, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow or next Tuesday.
Later.
Hey, Tina B.
Y'all be easy.
Wait, I want to know how to do the background.